Mothers, some of the most kind-hearted, generous, nurturing, beautiful individuals this hellish earth has to offer. When I think of my mum, I think of fresh daisies sprouting on a spring's day, a warm, soft hug. Hey mum, if you're watching this. But some mums have a much different aura. We'll put it that way for now. What happens when a mother is so in love with her offspring, they'll ruin any chance their children has, finding that person they're going to settle down and spend the rest of their lives with. Instead, their sons must choose them or nobody at all. It's mommy or a dark, sinister tsunami.
You should be hugging me like that, not your mother. So I don't get no love? Bamarim gida. Bamarim.
Oh.
That's crazy. He didn't even move an inch. He doesn't care. It feels to me like this poor lady does not get this kind of attention whatsoever from her husband. The same kind of attention and affection that he's literally giving to his mum, and that's an issue. Of course, parent-child relationships are principal, especially if the relationship between parent and child is a good one. Though having said that, it does become a huge problem when your partner's entire identity is being a mama's boy, and even further, I'll go, putting their mother before you in any and every circumstance. I mean, if your partner is affectionate and overall just doting on their parent, but they can't give you at least 3% of that, you know, the person that they're supposed to be doing that with more than anybody, more than their mum, I'm sorry. I don't want to see a grown-ass man kissing up on his mum when he can't do that with his spouse. And those are the kinds of problems that need to be addressed and dealt with pretty much immediately, I'd say. Or it could possibly turn into a situation where the mother turns around and paints you as this evil villain who's trying to steal her son away from her, or you don't want him to have a relationship with her at all, when it's like, no hun, I just don't feel comfy with you kissing all up on your parent and not me. A lot of people were actually quite upset at this video and were just not understanding of what the big deal was. I don't think there's anything wrong with him hugging his mum, and I find it strange that she felt threatened or even made a comparison. I think it's clear as day. Her husband didn't care about the fact that she was visibly and verbally upset over not receiving the same kind of affection. Any partner would be valid in feeling like a pile of poo. Misophonia people, I am so sorry. I have it and my asshole was tingling the entire time. I'm sorry, but I just hate those. I hate those noises. But that's besides the point. Is this because you want to find any mildly horrible information that you can dig up on this phantom woman you're imagining your child son to be dating in the future, so that you can come to him with that information and try and convince him she's not right for you, son? Mommy knows what's best for you, my little baby boy. She's a mama's boy, doesn't deserve her. I just think it's weird that she's fantasizing about insinuating trying to dig up crazy information on, again, this phantom woman. Like, she's not real, sweetheart. And even if she was, you don't get a say in what happens in your son's love life. What if he isn't even into women or people at all? It's just so crazy thinking about the fact that your son would have his own autonomy, thoughts, feelings. And just because this phantom woman doesn't live up to your standards doesn't mean that you get to decide what goes on in your child's son's future love life. That is completely up to him him and the person that he's with. I don't know, man. I really do not find this toxic boy mom shit to be funny in the slightest. You know that one Taylor Swift song? Please don't leave me for someone. You get the point. Like, babe, it's okay. He's still alive. You haven't lost him yet. He's standing right in front of you in the blood and flesh. Dude got engaged. What did you expect was to happen with a grown person? And look, I'm not the first to say this. It's just been my experience with mamas, boys in the past. These types of child-parent relationships set these kids up for failure because you've made this atmosphere where they rely upon you so much that they abandon the person who they've promised a life with. And that will never be fair on the other party. They didn't agree to be a part of this weird ass love triangle, and I can never understand it. I genuinely don't understand why these kinds of people feel like they are losing their child because they're getting engaged. They're getting married. They're in love. They're in committed relationships. The thing is, no one can ever be mum. No one can ever be dad. No one can ever be the parent. It's just that more times than not, these mama's boys expect their female counterpart to do exactly what his mum does 24/7. And that is exactly what I mean by setting these children up for failure, because they aren't supposed to rely completely on their female counterpart, because again, I've spoken about it before, that's why drives die. That's why relationships go sour, because no one wants to feel like they're in bed with their son. I mean, I just truly don't know what these people think. What did you think was going to happen when you brought this child into the world? That they'd forever be mummy's little boy? Sorry, but no. I know it's a harsh reality we live in, but y'all seriously gotta find another man that isn't your son.
These too old to be acting like this. She almost 40, acting like a little bitch.
See, this is what I mean. Find a man that isn't your son, babe. Of course, your son is not going to give you inappropriate action that is only appropriate and, must I say, reserved for consenting non-family parties. Could you imagine if the roles were reversed and a father said this kind of shit? Oh my, I'm sure it's definitely happened at one point, and that is terrible as fuck. But nobody is trying to be up on their parents, rubbing their thighs, rubbing their backs. No. Like, even if what this mother said was a joke, it's a very interesting one. I just could not imagine being sat on the couch with my boyfriend and he gives me a kiss and his mum pipes up saying but my little baby son, you know that mummy wants kisses too, don't you? Like, bro, I will get up and leave. No one is trying to be around that. Ew, ew. Oh my god, you guys are gonna hate this one. Genuinely, I saved the worst for last. Please just hang in there, okay?
My son just posted on Instagram that he has a girl at his house, and I think she slept over, so we're heading over right now to go meet her.
America! Yeah! I cannot tell you how much invisible sticky slime just came all the way down my back. This mother thought it would genuinely be the perfect idea to enter her son's house without letting him know first that she so happens to have the key to... Guys, don't ever do this, okay? Especially if you have an overbearing parent like this. Like, I don't mind giving my parents my keys if I'm going on a holiday or something. I don't mind if they look through my stuff. I don't mind about anything, okay? But I also know that they would never in a million years do this kind of shit because they would see something that they didn't want to see. And that is what this mother was doing here. How flippin' mortified. Alright, would you be sleeping in the bed of the person you're sleeping with and their mum has the gall to come into their bedroom and rip the blankets off of you? And good thing you're not nude. But that's the thing. She was walking into her son's house with the intention of seeing something that she didn't want to see. Babe, why were you trying to see if your son was having furious mattress time with anybody, for that matter of fact? And that, my good friend, goes beyond weird, goes beyond wild, goes beyond truly in the head, I'd have to say. I'm sorry. Yeah, I went there. What was the plan? What did you expect to come out of this with exactly? Imagine if this mum had have lifted up the blankets and the girl was butt-ass naked and her son was butt-ass naked. How would you feel? Would you still feel proud of yourself for intruding on your son's private life? I would not be surprised if her son has revoked the key from her possession, because this is exactly what ruins parent and child relationships. When they think they can do whatever the f they want to you, even when you trust them with something, or because you're the kid. You're not seen as a proper adult being. You'll always be their little ittle witty baby in their eyes. This is the true meaning, if I ever have seen one, of a toxic boy mum. This might be a crazy, outrageous thought, but your son is going to have sleepovers with people. That's not your business, so stay right out of it, dude. Now, with all of that being said, everybody, thank you so much for your stay at Yappersville today. Take care of yourselves, and most of all, love your fucking selves. I won the staring contest. Ah!